welcome to today's episode of Your Money and Your Life. Apologies for the gap in recording and presenting these videos on lifestyle to you. I admit that I took a little bit of a vacation, and it really was a very little bit, but I came back sick. And so, you know, when you are, I think the older you get, you really have a really clear thought about how quickly time is passing. And I think, you know, you measure that depending on how many decades you've been around. So right now I'm noticing, you know, whether it's days, weeks, months, or hours, you know, I think depending on your age, you really notice one thing or the other. So for me, it's just how quickly the months are going, because if you blink, it's already the next month. And I'm behind, so apologies. And then the other part of being sick, and while I was recuperating, it seems that even still, when I talk for any period of time, I start to lose my voice. So with that in mind, and the fact that it was also suggested that 30 minutes is a long time, I'm going to try a shorter version of Your Money and Your Life today. So that will A, save my voice, and B, give you, I don't know, tell me if you like the shorter or the longer version. Because even if you're watching a 30-minute episode on TV with all the commercials, you don't get a full half hour anyway. So we'll just see where we get, right? So what we'll be talking about today, I hope that you have been keeping up with the videos. If not, just jump right in. Usually I would do a recap, but again, as I mentioned, I'm doing a shorter version, so no recap today. We just want to jump right in. Your Money and Your Life is a production of Pink Passport Society, and I want to encourage you to send in your questions to guidedjourney@pinkpassport.org. My name is Larissa. I am the founder of Pink Passport Society. It is for moonlighters, money mavens, and multipreneurs. And so I put together these videos to talk really about your money, just like it sounds like, in personal finance. So your money and your life, and by that I mean your lifestyle. So I'm hoping that you will be inspired to take notes and make some changes and get your money growing and working for you so that you can have the lifestyle that you desire. Desire and deserve. See how I put those two words together? So anyway, what I wanted to talk to you today about is breaking some of the common money myths. So we're going to talk about two of them. And I always feel that, first of all, your money in your life is based on what's called passport living. And by that I mean you have multiple streams of income so that you have more choices in the lifestyle that you choose for yourself, and so you have more options, and I don't want you to have to do without. So if you can diversify your income, and that part of that diversification includes investing, which is what we're going to talk about today. So it's the money side of it is giving yourself more choices. So two money myths. The first one that you have to have a lot of money to invest. You know, when I was growing up, buying stocks and investing were things that other people did. That was just for rich folks, and you know, certainly wasn't for me or my family, if I even thought about it that way. I think I had, was that a typical middle class upbringing, maybe, I don't know. Haven't really studied the classes. My father was in the Air Force and my mother was a teacher, so I'm guessing that makes us middle class. So anyway, you have to have a lot of money. That's not true. Let's just make that real short. You can actually get started investing with as little as $25 a month. Let me back to you. You can get started with as little as $25, and depending on who you invest with, say for instance, I know that $25 a month is what you can start with if you want to use ShareBuilder. I've been with them for, you know what? It's several years, actually. I don't remember exactly when I started, but I've been with ShareBuilder for quite some time. I was with them before they were bought out by ING Bank. So anyway, with ShareBuilder, if you want to do automatic investing, that just means you have a dollar amount that you want to come out on a certain day. Then if you set that up, automatic investing, you can, for instance, work with ShareBuilder for just as little as $25 a month. And of course, that $25 a month, you decide where you want it to go. If you don't specify, it's just going to go into a money market, and I will tell you right now, don't do that. So, you know, you pick a stock and decide which stock or stocks you want to buy, depending on how much you are having transferred each month. So, $25, number one, is the first piece of good news. And secondarily, you can, like, just say for instance, if you looked at stocks at all, you've probably heard that, what is that, Apple is well over $600, and I haven't looked at it lately, so it might be closer to $700, but per share. So you say $25 versus $700, that's not really going to get me very far. But the reason I mention that is that you can buy fractions of shares. There are several stocks that are well under $25, and we'll talk about how to choose stocks in another episode, but I just want you to get the concept that you can start with $25 and you don't have to buy a full share of anything. You can buy fractions of shares, or if you're 25, 50, 100, whatever you want to put in, you can buy either one share, fractions of a shares, or many shares of a particular stock. So that's the other one thing. And then the third piece of that is when you buy shares, that's called trading. So there is a fee for that. So with the $25 a month automatic investing, it costs you $4 versus $15. And I say $15, that's just like if you pick up the phone. If you go online and you decide that you want to buy, what is it? 20 shares of Disney. So if you say you want to buy 20 shares of Disney, and that it is probably, I want to say around $60 the last time I looked at it, 50 some odd dollars. If I just said 20 shares, why do I keep doing things that make me do math? Anyway, let's just say that it's $50. So 20 shares, that's $1,000. And you can just do that. Out of your $1,000, you would have to pay a $15 trading fee. So it number one, pays in many ways to do the automatic investing, because you can invest for as little as $4 per trade, and that means each time you buy a particular stock, that is called a trade. Whether you buy 1 share or 25 shares, that's a trade, and so it's $4 to $15 depending on how you buy it, if you're going through Share Builder. Now, if you're going through, what is that, E-Trade or Scottrade, these are two other reputable online brokerage houses. There we go. So it's pretty reasonable. So that was the first thing I wanted to tell you. And number two is that one of the other myths is that you need a stockbroker, and I've already just told you that's not true. So you can do it yourself through Share Builder. I'm happy with them. They are, let's see, when I buy a share, when I have a transaction, I get a trading verification. I can go online anytime and look at my portfolio and see, you know, what movement. Have the stocks gone up? Have they gone down? Did someone pay a dividend? I can look at a pie chart and see how much I've made over a particular period of time. And of course, I said a report when I sell. I get a verification also. Buy or sell, you get a report. So, and they make it really easy. And if you do sign up with Share Builder, which for new accounts, they actually pay you. Depending on what promotion they're running, you might get $25 or $50 to get started. It's not a lot of money, but you know, it's free money, so I suggest you sign up and you take it. And when you refer someone, you will also get, I believe, again, $25 or $50 depending on what type of account that person opens. So many reasons to check out Share Builder. Number one, it's quick and easy. It's online. It's accessible, and they have many. You can trade almost anything, and I say almost anything. You're probably not going to find what they call junk shares or penny shares. That's not really what you want to waste your time with. But again, like I said, we will talk stock picking on another video, another episode. So you don't need a stockbroker. You can go online and do it yourself. But the caveat to that is, of course, you need to do your homework. So I want you to feel inspired and confident in choosing stocks. So make sure you watch that episode when we talk about how to choose your stocks. But they're not all winners, but I'm pretty pleased with the purchases that I have made, and you'll hear me talk about them periodically throughout these sessions. But I've bought, I've sold, I've held. Haven't done the trading yet. The trading is something I'm looking forward to learning. I worked with Courtney Smith, who's an excellent trading teacher. He's had his own brokerage firm and this, that, and the other, but he had a really great class at the beginning of this year, which I attended his session, so I will be looking into trading, but I'm not suggesting day trading because that means you have to be glued to the computer, and I don't actually have time for that. When Courtney Smith does his trading, he does a little bit of timing using symbols and signals rather. So anyway, that's again, I hate to say it again, but that's another episode. So I'm just saying I'm buying and holding at this point. That was really the point I wanted to make. So my portfolio that we're discussing right now today is the buy and hold portfolio, not the trading portfolio. There are different strategies and rules for each type of investing, and so I just want you to keep those separate. I'm not suggesting you run out and trade anything. Right now I would like you to do a little bit of homework and look at ShareBuilder, for instance, just because I'm familiar with that, and I think it's a reputable brokerage. And one of the other things I wanted to talk about, again with investing, we've touched on it briefly, but exchange traded funds, they were actually just in the news recently, which is why I brought them up again today, because even just a few years ago, there were not that many ETFs on the market, but now everyone's, jumping on board. Ooh, ETFs, we've got to offer them. So there are thousands and thousands, and it just makes it a little bit harder to choose which ones to invest in. But again, one reason I recommend ETFs, exchange-traded funds, is because it's kind of a hybrid of an individual stock and a mutual fund. And I say that typically an ETF is an index, which means it's a basket of shares, and which is the part that's like a mutual fund, but the part that's like a stock, you can buy this basket and you can trade it just like a stock. So that's one of the really good things to consider when you're looking at ETFs. Is number one is that you can get in and out fairly quickly, and the fact that you can trade them like stocks helps you manage your risk, because anytime you buy a stock, you should, at the same time you're placing the order to buy that stock, you should also place your stop limit order, which is an quote-unquote automatic sell price. Let's just say if you buy a stock today at $65 and you've done your homework, you've decided that this is a good company to invest in. If you buy a stock at $65, what you want to say is, when you put in your stop limit order, is I'm buying it at 65 today, so if it falls below 65, so you might make a stop order at, say, 10%, what is that going to be? $6.50 less, so that you will limit the amount of money that you lose, so that when you buy it at 65, you also tell the brokerage that if it gets at or below, what did I just say, $59.50, that's a stop limit order that you want to make sure that you sell, so you limit the amount that you could possibly lose. So, and I'm saying the 10%, that's just one of the recommendations that Courtney Smith made, is that you put your limits at 10% difference, 10% higher, 10% lower, so that you can manage your risk. And of course, know when to take the money out. If the stock has gone up by your expected profit level, then you want to be able to sell and take your winnings at that time, earnings at that time. So you do not need a lot of money to invest. You can do it on your own, and you don't need a stockbroker. And I hope that you will consider buying ETFs. So that's the money side of your money and your life. And I want to talk about one more thing, which is lifestyle. With the turmoil, we'll use that word, that the economy's in, or digging its way out of over these last few years, when you read a headline, typically what they're going to say is save, 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 don't spend, don't spend, don't spend, don't buy. But Larissa and Pink Passport Society don't want you to not have the lifestyle that you want. I'm talking about myself in third person, just a little weird. Let's review. What I want to say is, have the lifestyle that you want to have the things that you want to have, but just don't pay full price. So in making those decisions, when I say don't pay full price, there's an outlet on every corner. There's a sale every 5 minutes. So, that involves possibly some comparison shopping, so that you do take time to know that you are getting good value, because we probably know that stores use what they call loss leaders. They have a really drastic reduction on this item because they want to get you in the store, and then of course they tempt you with this higher full price item. So again, never pay full price. There's a sale, there's an outlet, there's online, and all kinds of things you can do to save money when you buy. And then secondarily is you might want to consider delayed gratification, which is something I also use. I use the outlets and the discount stores for brand name labels because I guess I am label conscious, but I don't mind paying for nice things as long as the quality's there. So buy the quality, just don't ever pay full price. And then secondarily, delayed gratification. Once upon a time when we all carried our checkbooks around, and I don't know if you still carry your checkbook, but I found that I saved an awful lot of money when I left my checkbook at home. Because if you had your checkbook, it was so easy to just whip it out and write a check. Well, that's crazy talk now. First of all, no one's writing checks, I guess. But, it kind of goes the same way with your debit card or your credit card, which, if you can, leave those at home. But I admit that I do carry mine with me because I'm on the road a lot and I don't want to get stuck on an emergency and not have any plastic if there's something like a car breakdown, etc. and so forth. But the delayed gratification also saves you money. Have that talk with you. Is this purchase going to get me closer to the goals that I have set for myself? And if the answer is no, probably you should wait a few minutes, a few days, a week. And if the item is still there when you go back, great, buy it if you still want it. Chances are that you'll lose the urge and you didn't really want it after all. Or if it's gone when you do go back, probably means you didn't need it after all. So that, my pretties, is today's episode of Your Money and Your Life, and it was a much shorter version. Again, saving my voice, which I think it lasted through this episode. Happy to report. And then also, like I said, trying out a shorter version of the series. And you let me know, do you like longer, 30 minutes? Do you like shorter, 20 minutes? I look forward to your emails, your questions, and your comments. Again, my name is Larissa. You can reach me at guidedjourney@pinkpassport.org. And I look forward to catching up with you next episode. And I want to say today, welcome, actually is what I started to say in the beginning. Welcome to our new subscribers. I'm happy to have you here, and I look forward to getting to know you as the weeks go on. Thanks again. Tune in next week for today's episode of Your Money and Your Life. Take good care and live it up.